Hey, it has been a little while since you've seen the big bad wolf here, but I want to clear up a misunderstanding relating to another recent Disney-related controversy. I'm sure some of you may have noticed people complaining about the art style in some recent original Pixar movies, like Luca, or Turning Red, or Elio, saying they're pretty much that bean mouth style seen in many contemporary television cartoons since the early 2010s, or as they unfairly refer to it as the CalArts Style. Well, that is simply not true. All three of those movies' character designs actually draw a heavy influence from several Kodomomuke type animes and mangas, meaning animes and mangas directly intended for children since at least the 1960s. Similar to mangas and animes like Pretty Cure, Doraemon, Shima Shima Toro no Shima Jairo, Hamtaro, Yokai Watch, even the later seasons of the Pokemon anime featuring Ash Ketchum and his Pikachu show shades of that kind of style. This is especially evident in Turning Red, having a really strong anime influence of the three, even if it focuses on Chinese culture rather than Japanese. And that whole bean mouth thing seems to go way back to the Gutsy Frog manga from the 1970s. But from what I've seen, a few of those did influence today's TV cartoons in a way. Especially starting with Cartoon Network's Steven Universe being popular. And this is where calling it the CalArts Style irks me, because the creators of Steven Universe didn't even go to CalArts. I wish they'd stop dragging that art and animation school into this mess, as it hurts its legacy. My original boss, Walt Disney, even had a hand in starting up CalArts in 1961. What's worse, that name was originally coined by that psycho creator of the Ren and Stimpy show, who I'll not name, criticizing the Iron Giant and other hand-drawn anime movies at the time, going for a more Disney-like appearance. You're just fueling the enemy even more. And then the worst such instance happened in 2018 when Warner Bros. Animation announced Thundercats Roar, causing a huge uproar, if you will, among the animation fandom, to the point where one crazed and disgruntled fan even made a shooting threat at CalArts. Sheesh! I know the animation fandom can be full of wackos, but really? Again, those Pixar movies are simply influenced even more by those animes and mangas than those so-called bean-mouth TV cartoons. They take influence from Osamu Tezuka and Fujiko Fujio and other great Japanese manga artists.
Osamu Tezuka-san wa manga no kami-sama desu.
You said it, Buster! Not to mention, one of the directors of Elio is Domei Shi, who also directed Turning Red, hence the similar style. The first Pixar short she directed back in 2018, Bao, also strongly reflects her Chinese heritage, as seen with its art style. So yeah, I'm getting pretty tired of people who don't actually get their facts straight and accuse Pixar of just going with that bean mouth style we've been seeing in TV cartoons for a while. I knew from the start they were influenced by anime and mangas, especially the Kodomomuke type, but the next original Pixar film to come out, Hoppers, foregoes this and looking more like a generic CGI talking animal movie, like the kind DreamWorks and Illumination were known for cranking out. And people are ecstatic over this. Of course, many people love those kind of movies that DreamWorks and Illumination made, even if I'm not a fan of them. But aside from the trailer, the story does appear to be taking a different turn from your usual CG talking animal movie of the century. And funny enough, it's from the creator of the Cartoon Network animated series We Bare Bears, a series that actually used the so-called bean-mouth art style people still unfairly associate with CalArts.
Uh-oh, Ketchup Entertainment had better watch out. They plan to release Coyote vs. Acme at that time. Maybe if Disney screws up with Hoppers like they do at Elio, I won't have to worry. Woohoo!
Daffy, I can't believe you'd say that! Ugh. I know Pixar has been in a sequel rut for a while, as has Walt Disney Animation Studios, but when it comes to original movies, I don't want to start seeing an endless barrage of Shrek and Ice Age and Finding Nemo and Madagascar and open season clones again, as was the case for much of the 2000s. despite my being a cartoon talking animal myself, of course, but I have a higher level of anthropomorphism. And to be fair, there are such CGI anime movies like that. Not just Disney's own Zootopia, of course, but Pixar's Ratatouille features very anthropomorphic animals, even if these ones generally don't wear any clothing. And that movie was kind of a version of the talking animal movie trend. Almost like a satire, in that it avoids gross-out humor and pop culture references and cheesy celebrity casting. But of course, it had Brad Bird at the helm, so that would explain it. So I am hopeful Hoppers ends up actually being kind of a subversion, since after all, the humans and animals in that can't actually interact with each other, hence the main character, Mabel, transplanting her mind into a robot beaver to be able to talk to animals as part of an experiment, like some superheroes would. But they did throw in a pop culture reference, but not in the usual manner such a movie would.
This is like Avatar.
This is nothing like Avatar.
So I guess that's also a sign. Turning Red also had a few such pop culture references to reflect the time period that movie takes place in. It's spring 2002. I especially liked how Mei Mei named the red panda statues outside her family's temple Bart and Lisa. Of course, it was also a company cross-reference, since Disney bought The Simpsons in 2019. But I don't want to talk about the 20th Century Fox buyout for the umpteenth time, especially since James Cameron's Avatar was also acquired by Disney as part of said buyout. But let me repeat this once more. The character designs and styles seen in Pixar's Lucas, Turning Red, and Elio are not supposed to be reflecting that newer television animation style people still unfairly refer to as the CalArts Style. In the case of these Pixar films, it's an anime influence. Whew. I needed to get that out here so people can understand. And aside from that, I hope you all stay tuned to this channel for me, Zach Wolf, or Sam Valentino to debunk any other crazy animation theories or rumors, or whatever else happens next.